live again, and I thought I'd just talked for a little bit about the difference or the mix between direct messages and content because you could perceive from me, you could have the perception that I'm against direct messaging. That's not the case. I'm not against direct messaging at all. I'm just let's just be let's just be real for a minute. Let me just make sure everybody can get in and say hello to everybody. So I'm not against direct messaging at all. What I'm trying to do is with this live really is talk about the mix between content and direct messaging because being honest, a lot of people just don't get it. Please let me know where you are. If you're in the chat, say hello, all of that stuff. So for the purposes of this live, I'm going to be talking to people who are selling their expertise. So if you're a marketing agency, marketing freelancer, a social media marketer, a business coach, a consultant to businesses, any of those things, this is for you. So when you're selling your expertise, whatever that expertise is, your know-how, lawyer, accountant, solicitor, all of that stuff, one of the fundamental principles you have to accept, and this is where messaging alone falls apart for you, is when you're hitting people up, if you're going to hit people up, you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. But the vast majority of people are not going to buy from you without tasting your value. What do I mean? When you go and hire an accountant, you want to get a flavor of them. You want to know what they're about, right? You want to get a feel for them. When you hire a business consultant or a business coach, you want to get a feel for them. When you hire a marketing agent, you want to get a feel for them. So for you to successfully sell yourself, if you're selling your expertise, that feeling bit, their vibe of you becomes very, very important. And if direct messages are not in the right place in your plan, if they're not in the right place, people won't feel it. So one of the reasons why I do stuff like this is so that people get to know me. Because if I can add value into their world, if I can turn some light bulbs on and give people some ideas, they got my credibility, my trust level, but also the person's excitement for working for me increases. And so I have to do less to convince somebody to buy from me. So if you're selling your expertise in whatever format, this becomes really important. You should be thinking about, it's a very simple strategy, actually. Let me just fix this mic. It's a really simple strategy. Nobody's chatting today. I don't know why can't I see the comments? It's really strange. There's something going on LinkedIn today. I can't see the comments. Here we go. There we go. Hi, Martin. Yeah, this is my holiday shirt. I only got two or three wild shirts. Hi, Jackie. So they have to see your expertise. And so a real simple strategy for this is called, get it, ready? See, taste, buy. See, taste, buy. Now, it's so simple a strategy. Actually, it's easy to think this is too easy. Morning, Jackie. It's really straightforward. So what you've got to think about, however you plan to workflow this out, and I give people workflows, show people workflows, is number one, is they've got to see you consistently, build up some familiarity. If you want to take as much selling out of the process and make it easy to close business, you've got to get them to see you a lot. Now, I don't mean them see you in messages. I mean them see you around. And I don't mean you sharing other people's content. I mean your own. They need to see you. Really important, seeing you. So that's seeing you in the feed. or however you're going to see. They've got to see you without any loaded sales conversation, anything like that. Why? Because that's where they go, this person might be onto something. I'll follow them, or I'll accept their connection request, or I'll keep an eye on their content, or I'll press the bell on their profile. C, be visible, add value in the feed so people can get to know you. I've had people who've done business with me who said, I feel like I've known you for ages. Why? Because they've seen me on YouTube, they've seen me on LinkedIn, and I'm just doing this myself. I know Maverick's got a big team, God knows how many people, but I do all of my own marketing myself. So the reason why I do that is so when I'm teaching other people to do it, they can't say, oh, well, Dean, you've got it easy because you've got all those people. No, I'm live at my desk. I do my own posts, all of that stuff. So C becomes really important. Then the next bit is taste. Now, if C is the eyes, taste is a different sensory element. So C is like seeing your post in the feed and all that kind of stuff. It's quite a low level. They've seen it. There's a bit of familiarity, but taste is where they get a flavor of the value. So this is where I'll do lives like this. I'll do free webinars. I'll do closed group calls. I'll do small programs. I'll do little challenges so people can experience the value of working with me in some way as a taster so that they'll want more. So taste is really important, because if you want to do less selling, less hard selling, less cold selling, they have to taste your value. So I'll do free webinars, I'll do PDFs, I'll do all of that stuff to help people see and taste the value. Somebody else is asking a question here. If they like you, they buy from you, right? But it's not just, is Dean a decent guy? It's, and has he got something that's valuable for me, which is the taste element. So C is they get to know you a little bit. They like you a little bit. They see you around, so you're familiar just by showing up consistently. You're seeing. Then comes the buy. And the buy is where you give people options of how they can work for you, your offer, for want of a word, what you're going to put into the marketplace. Now, I could go into more detail of what those offers look like and how they work, but that's not for today. But if you're trying to do less selling in the DMs, you've got to adopt a see, taste, buy. It doesn't mean you don't do the DMs, but the DMs come after some of that stuff rather than, in many cases. And if you're selling your expertise, think about this. Is it easier to book calls with people who've experienced some value from you, or do you have to fire through lots of people? So it's easier, more successful to do the see, taste, buy strategy. That, especially if you're selling your expertise, your know-how, your experience, your all of that stuff. It's especially easier with the see, taste, buy if that's your camp, because there people can get a flavor of you. And let's be honest, let's say you did the outreach, the cold outreach. I'm not saying cold outreach is bad, but for experts and people who are selling their services, it's a tough gig. If you do it the cold route and you get onto the call, there's still the hurdle of, do they like you? Do they get on with you? Do they trust you? All of those hurdles have got to get through. If you do it the other way around, you can do it at scale. So let's think about it like this. Let's say the industry stat at the moment, I know I'm getting a bit off topic here, but Amy, how much do you think personality drive your success? Oh, do you know what, Amy? I'll tell you a very honest story. I am naturally, you won't believe this, right? Some people who know me will know me, right? I am naturally an introvert. So when you meet me in person, if you see me on a stage on my topic, I'm like alive. I'm absolutely alive. But if you meet me at a networking event where I've got nothing to share, I'm like, I can't hold a conversation. It's really weird, right? So personality is a lot of it. And people go, really? Of course, really. Of course, really. Especially with experts or people selling their expertise. because the customer is going, do I not do I believe this person is good at what they do? It's, do I believe this person can help me get to where I want to go? So it's as much about, it's not about your certificate. It's not about whether you're in the ICF or International Coaching Federation or the Chartered Institute of Marketing or the Association of Consultants or whatever. That gives people a little bit of confidence, but it still comes down to, do they buy into you? So if you think about it that way, you go, hang on a minute, why don't I get people to buy into me first and then do the outreach to see if I can help them? So I have a social, personal, outgoing personality. Honestly, right, Amy, if you meet me in person, not around me training or something like that, you'll go, is this the same person? And I'll tell you where it came from, actually, if you're, I'm not boring you. I've always been a behind the scenes kind of person. So when I was in TV, I was the one looking at spreadsheets and looking at stuff and going, that's performing, let's do more of that. And I was always that kind of person behind the scenes, kind of looking at the cogs and everything to see how we can do stuff. And I was responsible for revenue. So my target was 2.5 million a month of new business that I had to bring in, all through marketing like this. But I was behind the scenes. And then Maverick was born as part of the consultancy of that business that we were working with. So I was a solopreneur. And then we built the business a little bit more, and I got a business partner, and he was the personable, the front man, all that kind of stuff. And we had a royal spat. It was awful. And suddenly Dean, the one who likes to play with the cogs and sit behind a screen, was like, I've got to put myself out there. And I absolutely hated it. I can't record videos for the life of me. But when I put myself in front of a camera live, I just have to talk and I have to just get through it. And the more I've done it, the easier I've found it. But I'm not an outgoing person. It's really weird. I mean, if you meet some of the people in the office, they'll tell you it's like Dean is very, very not the outgoing person. But I think I've got more comfortable with the video, knowing that if people don't buy into me, it's pointless. And I've seen so many people, so many business owners, like beat themselves up because they're trying to conform to something else. And what happens is they try to conform or be somebody else so that they can win some more business. But once they get under the skin, it doesn't work. And I would rather people know me, know my flaws, and want to do business with me on that basis. It makes it easier than going down the road and then them realizing, actually, that my relationship with Dean isn't right. I want something a bit more corporate, or I want something a bit more different. So I've done it on purpose. But if you're selling your expertise, the DMs come after they've tasted your value. Otherwise, 1, you look a bit needy. 2, it's not comfortable. If you're writing DMs, you're probably not enjoying it. Let's be honest. So I've always took the view with the See Taste Buy is that if I consistently put content out there, give people a way to interact with me more like this, where they get to see me and know me, and then move those people who are still with me into a sales conversation or business, that's a better route. Why? Because I can be relaxed. I don't have to perform. I don't have to be anything I'm not. I don't have to follow this secret methodology, of how to run a sales call. Yes, there's tips on how to do a sales call, but you don't, some people find themselves, I actually met somebody once and I helped them with this, but they had like a piece of paper just stuck to the camera with questions. And when they were trying to run the sales call, they were just literally going, and it was like, no, this has got to be natural. So if you are yourself, get them to see you in the real world through posting and activity like that. Do stuff like this, webinars and things where people can get to know you more, and then do your outreach. The other way around, The other way around just doesn't. It means people are buying from you, or they're interested in you based on you can provide a service. And you didn't go in to doing what you do because you wanted to just provide a service. This is a mission for you. If you're selling your expertise in any way, shape, or form, this is a cause. This is a mission. This is something you believe in. And so if you're just selling a service, think about it. If you DM, if I DM complete strangers now and say, hey, do you want to know how to get more business from social media? If they're thinking about it right now, they're looking at it with no reference to me. They don't know anything about me. So I have to do a massive leap of trust and all sorts to get there. Whereas the other way around, I can be me. I can share what I think, tell you what I think. And if people are still around, they are the people who I can work the best with because we're on the same wavelength. People are getting what I'm saying. And so I just find that it's a much easier way to work. It's not a conventional way to work by any means, because it means you put a lot of work in on the front end. But when you do, what happens is, happens to me every day now, is people email in to the company, to the office. They message me on LinkedIn and say, Dean, I've seen your webinar. I need your help. Why? Because I've done it consistently over and over and over. People need to see your value many, many times if you really want them to buy in. If you want to make the sales bit at the end easier, we all have to start somewhere. But if we want to make it easier to the point where it's really easy, in 6-7 months' time, it could be really easy if you do the right things, see, taste, and buy. If you keep trying to do it the other way around, you'll always be doing it the other way around. Promise you that this is the best way to go. That's true for me. I was taught here at a car dealership that people don't sell cars over the phone. My job is to bring them in to the dealership and experience the value and buy the car. Absolutely. They know who you are. They know who the dealership is. So they ring up. Then you actually go, well, no. I've got to get them to see the car. They've got to experience that. That's experience matters. And if you're selling cars, yeah, I sold cars once. Maybe Jackie, I think it's Jackie who said that. Jackie, we'll have a conversation about, I sold cars once. I sold cars. I wasn't very good at it because I didn't like walking up and intruding on people, introvert. But I did it because I wanted to drive all the cars. And then when I realized the salary wasn't great, the commission was good, but I was like, I don't want to really push myself on people. I felt really uncomfortable about it. So anyway, the C bit is about getting them to know you exist, getting them to see you and get some familiarity, like brand, shall we say, personal brand and stuff like that. The taste bit is where they really kind of have a snack on the value you can bring. So this is a taste element. My webinars are a taste element. My group calls where I do private free workshops are those two. And then I say to people, hey, if you want to get really into this with me, if you want me to help you grow your business through social media, let's do this. Join the accelerator. Come on our 100 leads program. See, taste, buy. And Jackie's got it nailed on there with the dealership. The people ring up. You want to get them to see the car because there's an attachment that happens. Think about it like that. There's an attachment that happens. And that's an attachment to the message. It's an attachment to you. It's an attachment to the value that's instilled in the buyer. So when the follow-up happens, it becomes so much easier. See, taste, buy. I'm sweating here. It's absolutely roasting. But Amy, I know that was a long ramble there, but I was not a natural on video at all. And if I try and record TikToks, they're a joke. They're really hard because it just doesn't feel right. But the live kind of forces me to be myself because I'm live. I can't do anything about it. So I prefer live. I prefer live than recorded, which is really strange. But and yeah, if you met me at a social occasion, you go, he's a quiet one. But for some reason, when I do this stuff, when I'm talking about my subject matter, I come alive. But it is something you practice. You know, I look back at some of the first webinar things I did, and it was like, oh my, this was embarrassing. But you just get better at it. And the problem is, I think the problem is we can be afraid to be ourselves because we worry. It's like, we know that if we just do what everybody else is doing, we're not going to get anywhere. We'll just blend in. But we also have this fear of standing out too and being unique, because what if people disagree with us? What if other people who do what we do challenge us? We worry about all sorts of things. And what happens is we kind of try and do a halfway house where we're blending in and not blending in at the same time. And we come across as wishy-washy. And I realized that, and I was like, I can't do this. I've just got to be myself, love me or hate me. And it's taken time, but the more I do the lives, the more I post, the more I become myself. That's the only way. And I struggle often to tell and explain this to other people. The more I post, the more I do live videos, the more I do webinars, the more I realize who I am, because it's coming out in a space where I can't overthink it. I can't rehearse it. It's just, it is what it is. It's like a muscle that grows. So yeah, but Amy, don't ever meet me in a social occasion. You go, oh, what a disappointment. My jokes are rubbish as well, by the way. No, but see, taste, buy. And I maybe what I'm going to do, if people are interested, I know there's only a few because it's a Friday afternoon and everybody wants to do something else. But if people want to know a little bit more about the see, taste, buy, I'll write a little I'll do a little video and I'll send it to people in the DMs if they want it. If people ask for it, I'll do it. But if they don't, there's no big deal. Right, I'm going to go because it's roasting here and I've got one more call before the end of the day. I'd say it's nice to be back, but I was hoping to come back to cooler weather because I'd had 2 weeks of real heat, and I've come back to heat. So look, guys, if we're not connected, drop me a connection request. If we are connected, say hello every now. If we are connected, say hello every now and then, and enjoy the weekend. But see, taste, buy. If you want me to do a little video, just drop me a message. I'll send it to you. I'm not trying to sell out, but it'll add value. Taste. All right, I'm gonna go. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and